What up? I'm back. This is another episode of Get to Know Ro. I've been gone for a little minute, mainly due to work, which is an excuse that I apologize and I'm bringing to you guys. But I really wanted to make sure that you knew that it wasn't because of the election. Um, Everybody's giving their feedback about how they feel about the election, who won, who shouldn't have won. And I'm a guy that deeply believes in respect for everyone's views. So I'm going to place mine out there. And I'm not hoping that everybody agrees, but I'm just hoping that everybody can understand where I'm coming from. I wasn't too caught up in all that. And I know that's a cool thing to say, but I'm just being blatantly honest and to my core. I lack the understanding necessary to be like that involved in the political process. But what I did feel emotionally, there were no ties there. I didn't feel like there were any emotional ties to any of the candidates that were running for president. Um, so, congratulations, Donald Trump. Um, but what I gathered from the election, what I've been noticing is this trend over the past few years of people being blinded by what's going on the television and around them, you know, and not seeing what the real issue is here, right? It's 2016, and information has kind of taken us to new heights and also new lows. So we have all this information, and now we're free to use this information however we see fit. So they can misconstrue everything that I say and say make me seem like I'm one way and I'm really another without knowing the true inner self of a person, right? So I wasn't really swayed by the election. I just got from it, and what I hope that everybody gets from it is that you got to keep on hustling, right? So I sent this message earlier. I'm gonna say it again. It's one of my favorite things to speak about. Is if you were given a choice, A or B, right? And choice A said that they came out and they said, "Yo, I don't like you. I'm gonna kill you tomorrow." And I'm just taking it to the highest extreme. And choice B says, you know, mm, I don't not like you, you know, um, and I may or may not kill you in the near future. Which one would you choose? I waited. I mean, I would choose A personally because I know what I'm up against, right? And with me knowing what I was up against a long time ago, even before this election took place, believe it or not, um, my mind, heart, and conscience were clear. And I was without fear for the outcome of this election, right? And I brought a couple of visual aids to help me out today, right? I'm not really a big stunt rah guy, but here it is. Why am I showing you this, right? Here it is. Why am I showing you this, right? Right. This is why I'm showing you this. It's 2016, but the majority of us we're not farmers, right? We don't know how to survive without Walmart. That's just being straight up and down honest with you. If you don't know how to survive without Walmart, then all your protesting and all your complaining and all this, like, you won't further your cause. And there again, I respect your cause. I respect what you're trying to do. I just want to give you a better avenue because a lot of times on the other side of it, people won't respect your cause, but they won't tell you what to do. All right. The thing that I hate, my biggest pet peeve is when people try to judge you and they don't try to help you, right? If you judging me and I'm running down the street trying to get hit by a car, but you're not gonna tell me how to fix the issue, you might as well just shut up and let me do what I'm gonna do. But if I give you the information as to why I believe this, and you buy into it, and then I follow the information up with like helpful tips of how to succeed in what you're trying to achieve, then that's something totally different, right? Um, I showed you the salt because this is a brand. This is a brand, right? This is a brand. I don't know what the face is behind this company. I don't know if it's white, red, yellow, brown, green, or what. This is a brand. I don't know what the face is behind this company, but I know one thing, right? I know that that's a hustle. Like I know that even if they don't know how to, they don't have cows. The person that makes this will always have beef on his table, right? Because I'm from Texas, y'all. We eat a lot of barbecue, and this will get you in my dough from time to time. I may not know how to make barbecue sauce, but I know that my beef goes really well with your barbecue sauce. If you're listening to me, you picking up on what I'm saying. But other than that, you gotta have an understanding of like there has to be a time where you separate your need from the sources you're trying to get acceptance from. Like that's the only way that respect is established, right? Long as you're in a relationship where you're dependent upon a party or a place to take care of you, and you're not making progress, they will continue to crap on you and give you the end breads of everything, right? They will continue to give you the last of everything, right? Because we're merely the entertainment, and gestures usually get paid the least. But if you bring in something of substance to the table, it becomes a partnership where you guys can barter and trade intellectual property, and you guys can barter and have conversations about things, right? Um, and by the way, this is Get to Know Ro, so you guys get to see a true effect of how I really think tonight, right? So learn something. So and we instead of protesting, you guys can protest in a different way. I bet you Walmart will start filling you when you and your family start growing fruits and veggies, rice, grains, and you guys learn how to feed yourselves, right? um because you guys aren't, no one's being taught to fish. No one's being taught to fish. So everybody is eating for a day, and then they're rioting, and then somebody throws some more fish out there, but no one's being taught to fish. So first thing you want to do if you want to create change, the kind of change that you want to see, you have to learn how to fish, right? And that's in all kinds of different walks of life, right? So my thing is, I will be respected, or you will not be paid. That's straight up and down how I feel. So I gotta learn how to survive. So things that I've been studying are things like how people survive before the event of all of these other things. Now, I'm not saying that I've done away with it because I'm sitting behind a computer right now. But what I'm saying is, I'm not. My existence does not depend on this computer. My existence depends on my brain, my muscles, and my willingness to get up every day and get in and understand and grow and evolve as a person. Once you stop evolving as a person, you kind of get complacent, and people start placing you and categorizing you into this thing called sheep. You're like sheep. Sheep get herded because sheep don't evolve, right? You can sheep don't evolve. They kind of do what the crowd does. They do what the crowd does, and when the crowd moves, they move. But when the crowd isn't moving, they're standing still and they're not complaining, right? But in this instance, we're sheep controlled by paychecks, right? Paychecks, money. We're controlled by money. That's the only thing. We trade our time. We trade our time. I spend so much time at work, right? And they dictate the value of my service. My job dictates the value of my service. So, what sense does it make to complain when I get off of work if you work in any industry, whether it be fast food or Well, now, if you can complain about what you're getting paid, then you have to put some time and some effort investing in yourself, right? So if you're not investing in yourself, learning on a daily basis, you aren't you're not hungry for the change that you want, you're not gonna get it because you're just waiting for them to hand you the next paycheck, and you're just hoping that the next paycheck that you get is big enough for you to go without complaining for a lot longer, right? So at the end of the day, it's survival of the fittest in this world. It always has been that way. So what I encourage you guys to do is go out and create something that people can't do without. Once they've had a dose of what you got, they can't do without it, right? Then that way you don't have to worry about where your seat is at the table. You don't have to live in fear anymore. You can live and you can be encouraged because you bring value. And you're always going to continue to bring value because you might bring the barbecue sauce one day, but you've been learning and picking up from the other people on the table, and you're going to bring the beef the next day. You know, you might bring the beef the next day, but then the next day you're gonna provide the shelter, and then once you provide the shelter, you can begin to create your own world. Um, there's this thing that I've been running into on Instagram for the longest time now, and I encourage you guys to follow me on Instagram and on my YouTube page because I'm very serious about this, right? And I'm looking to link up, and I'm willing to conversate with people. There's three things that I want you guys to pick up from this. Like, learn, always be learning. Respect other people, no matter what their views are. If they disagree or they dislike you, so what? So be it. Pick up what you can of value from them. I encourage you to do that. Live outside of the box. Think outside of it. Be willing to sacrifice. Be willing to put in that work. Stay humble. Stay humble. A lot of times we get to the point where we place so much value on the beef, and we don't get an understanding that while we're sitting here placing so much value on the beef, and we're looking at the person that's bringing the barbecue sauce from the tip of our nose, like they're beneath us, like that barbecue sauce would just be sauce without my meat. And we start to slack, right? Because we're not remaining humble. But all the time, the person that's sitting at the table gaining information from you, they're growing and they're learning. They're asking you questions. How long you put that in the oven? You put it in there about 31 hours. That whole time they sitting there chopping your meat up. They just chopping your beef up. They like, oh man, his rib. The last time he gave me his rib, like the first time he cooked it, it was like on point. The temperature was right. I asked him what the temperature was the first time he cooked it and how long he left it in there. He told me he left it in there for 3.5 hours. Then the next time it was a little bit crispier. I asked him about his day. He told me, yeah, little Timmy got upset, and so I spent 30 extra minutes running with little Timmy, so I wasn't able to take the beef out of the oven for another 4 hours. Right? He's picking up on that, so he's gonna find that perfect time frame to put that beef in the oven, and then he's gonna take over your land. Nobody, no man, no woman, no child is incapable of coming from last place to first place. As long as you stay humble, you work and you create what your world is, and you understand what your world is, no matter who the president is, no matter who says this or who says that, you're capable, and you know that you're capable of your abilities. You know that you're able to remain humble and stay focused on what your goal is. No one can stop you. No one can stop you. So as I said before, congratulations to Mr. Trump. I did poke fun at him, and hopefully after watching this video, you guys get an understanding of like my true sense of the situation and understand I was merely poking fun at him. No need to call the Secret Service on me or anything like that, because that's not how I do things. But I would encourage you to pick up my shirt. I'm really trying to do some major things, and I really need my friends, my family, and people that think that I have a bright future to support me. I encourage all of you. I know this is a longer video. I went over my 3 minutes by a little bit, but please listen to it all the way through. I will be giving a follow-up. So thank you. Have a great evening, y'all. This is another episode of Get to Know Ro.